Welcome to Exo's Room. Today I'll be talking about the horror of repression. What is repression? It's the exclusion of distressing memories, thoughts, or feelings from the conscious mind. Now let's get into the plots of today's video. Number 1. The piano teacher. An unmarried, sexually unfulfilled piano teacher enters a sadomasochistic relationship with her student. Number 2. Buffalo 66. A man named Billy Brown kidnaps a girl named Layla and forces her into pretending to be his wife to impress his parents once he is released from prison. The types of repression I'll be getting in today is repression leading to self-hatred in abusive relationships and self-hating related repression that leads to violence. Why repression leads to violence in my thoughts. Keeping down intrusive thoughts is like keeping a top over a boiling pot of water. It's going to spill. And when you keep things in emotionally, you're bound to getting them out through other coping skills, negatively or positively. Billy Brown's character study. In Buffalo 66, Billy wants to suppress his parents' negativity to the point he kidnaps a woman so he can impress them instead of facing his family problems head on. He chooses violence. He puts down affection. He doesn't feel like he's capable of feeling good things. Any positive moment that starts, he pisses away from shooing his victim away. He can't handle any emotion whatsoever. He's an insufferable child for the entirety of the movie, like a child that's been scolded at a restaurant for being too loud. He can't deal with trouble. He can't deal with staring. He just can't deal with anything that isn't to his liking. The negligence of his parents has made him a man-child that is unable to process feelings and communicate properly. From the moment he gets to his parents' doorstep, his grief has already begun, and he's completely overstimulated by any sound. The stress of impressing his parents, the stress of reliving his childhood. I feel sick, he dry heaves on the porch step. He wants to be held by this girl, even though he's repulsed. His anger bubbles as his mother offers him soda, not knowing him even a little bit, not even his chocolate allergy, but she always wants him calm. Another triggering memory is brought up at the table while Layla looks at a picture of Billy and Bingo the puppy. He looks away from his father, almost wincing at the thought. The scene lets the audience know it's likely Billy's father killed the dog in front of him. He can't stand his parents or what they've done to him, a negligent mother and an emotionally distant and abusive father. Billy cries once in the Denny's restaurant, finally releasing his stress, then once again apologizes to Layla for being shitty. The cycle continues. Billy is a slur-ridden mess. All he can do is yell and repeat himself. The result of his repression has led him to be a homophobic, ableist, stalking piece of shit known to man. Without help, this is who he has become. Erica's character study, parental abuse, and the lead to repression in Erica and Billy. Billy is ignored by his mother in a way where she is physically present but mentally missing. She can't even remember his allergies, yet she always wants him calm. She says she wishes she never had him at the dinner table, yet she expects him to be calm. She doesn't think he's handsome, but wants him to be calm. Billy's father is the same as Billy. The second he's triggered, he screams to the top of his lungs, yet he apologizes right after and claims he loves Layla. He even thinks Billy is pointing his knife at him, even though he isn't. His delusional thinking triggers him immediately, and he laughs at the idea of Layla saying Billy is nice, knowing what kind of man Billy truly is. With parents like this, any child would repress their feelings and emotions by not being treated properly. Erica lives with the domineering matriarch of a mother that still calls Erica a child, even though she is grown and has made a life for herself. When Erica comes in from a night stroll, her mother won't even let her pass to go to her room till she explains where she's been all night. She also goes through her bag, revealing a dress she bought. Her mother has no boundaries and continues to go through her things. Even in her closet, she removes an outfit out of its place. They even sleep together at night. While they lie in bed, Erica's mother basically tells her that no one should outdo her and not be foolish with her students. The mother also says that the dress was too gaudy and even rips the dress, or says that her vanity is not going to stop them from buying their apartment. Because of the build-up, Erica yanks at her mother's hair in rage. Her mother claims they are just a hot-blooded family, but in reality they are just an abusive relationship. Even in the last scene, she makes a dig at her daughter and says why would she be proud of Erica for playing at the recital since it's just a school show, and she's just filling in. Even in public, she scolds her with no mercy, and Erica takes no reaction since she's used to the emotional beatings. Her mother having no boundaries makes her create a secret life of going out to peep shows, yearning to feel something new, cutting herself to release the pressure of her life's troubles. Erica's character study. The pain melts into pleasure when she finds out what she wants, to have the power to become the powerless. When Erica meets a man named Walter, filled with the aroma of arrogance, she tries hard to suppress her feelings for him. She even tries to vote him out of her class, but it's not enough. Her desperation seeps through, making her seem ironically powerless to him. This infatuation she has for Walter leads to her becoming somewhat like her mother, becoming overbearing with her obsession. When Erica catches Walter caring for another student who is nervous for her big performance, without any hesitation, Erica crushes a glass bottle and lays the remains in the student's coat pocket, resulting in the student deeply cutting her hand. Erica's obsession and suppression of her own feelings for Walter leads to her committing acts of violence just like Billy Brown. As the film continues, we watch Erica become a slave to her own fantasies. She begins to humiliate and control Walter like she would to any one of her students. In an NSFW scene in the hockey back room, Erica really plays up being obsessed. It's almost like she can't live without him. She wants to do anything he wants and almost be in his skin with the way she kisses him. What takes this film to the next level is when Erica has Walter read aloud her sexual fantasies and what she wants him to do to her through a letter. After the backroom scene, Walter comes to her apartment building to confess in anger the acts he committed outside her window, and his anger follows, saying, "That's what you want. You want to give everyone your sickness." He becomes violent, slapping Erica and pushing her mother back into her room, locking her in even though he follows her perverted note of wishes. Consent is what matters. She doesn't want the beating he gives her. She wants to be beaten out of love, not out of hate. She wants a scene where she can release her oppression, but she gets a man blaming her for her own nosebleeds. She shakes and winces, sitting in her own puddle of blood. He continues to blame her for the mess he's made. He only gets more violent as the night goes on. Walter eventually ends up assaulting Erica again, taking her last bits of innocence, using her for meaningless sex. Before this takes place, Erica goes as far as to making a move on her mother, committing an incestuous act, saying she loved her and kissing her, yet her mother brushes it off, calls her crazy, and explains that she needs all of her energy for her performance. Erica's repression builds throughout the film. The longer the runtime, the more depravity becomes of her. The film cuts away to the final scene before we can even get her reaction of the brutal assault. The very next day, Erica brings a knife to the upcoming show, standing in for the injured pianist, Anna. Before the recital can begin, she waits in the lobby for Walter. We never know her intentions with the knife, but here Walter comes with a group of friends, brushing her off as he wishes her luck, like nothing happened. She looks more distraught than ever. She quickly takes out the knife and stabs herself in the chest and walks away from the building, and the film cuts to black. My conclusion is that when these characters feel threatened, they choose violence. When they feel as though they need to protect what they've built, they choose violence once again. Billy decides to kidnap Layla to keep up appearances with his parents, and Erica decides to choose violence through jealousy. I no longer think Buffalo 66 is a good movie after writing this review, but I do love The Piano Teacher. It's an amazing film, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Thank you for watching. This was Exo's Room.